Hello and welcome to another episode of Action Toon Brothers.
Hell yeah.
Today I may be a co-host in a lot of things, but today I'm running the show with the owner, Matthew Lewis, with me today. And I am Ben Sturgeon. Don't forget your name, Ben. Don't forget.
I have to forget to introduce myself. I get it. Matthew Lewis.
But yeah, so yeah.
Episode 73.
73, that's what it is, yeah. So, yeah, another day, another, wonderful day for, watching a cartoon. Sun is shining. We got through that one hellish hour of losing sleep. It's warm outside finally. So what better than
I was awake. That was in the middle of my work shift.
Right, yeah.
I had to leave an hour early. It feels great.
Yeah, I bet it does actually. But yeah, so what better time to celebrate than to watching one of the most darkest and bleakest and blackest shows ever, Metalocalypse.
Hell yeah.
And these three
we're
episodes.
back with 7 through 9, right?
Yep, 7 through 9, another 3-episode recording. Well, you get what I mean. But these episodes. Don't get me wrong, 2 of them are great. But one of them one of them was funny, but it fell short. We'll get to that when we get to that. So Matt, what have you been doing to prep for the show? Have you been expanding your metal horizons?
And same old, listening to some old Rammstein, listening to some, what the hell's the band? Every time I forget the goddamn name of it. The BYOB,
Oh, you're talking about System of a Down.
System of a Down, yeah. They're on my regular playlist, so I hear them very often. And of course, the Metalocalypse. I've listened to the previous season's songs. I don't think I've listened to this season's CD yet.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. I mean, that is going to be one thing before the end of this season that I'm definitely gonna quiz you on. But
yeah, I was gonna say, how about you? Yeah, what about your end?
But me. I mean, come on. I've been listening to Cradle of Filth and Lordy and them, but I've tried to expand my horizons a little bit. So I've been listening to Windrose, which is dwarven metal for all of you out there who want some new metal.
Are they little people or is it like Swedish?
No, like fantasy dwarf.
They're from Nibelheim then. Is it Nibelheim?
Yeah.
Which one's dwarf?
Well, are you trying to make a Warcraft?
No, I'm thinking of
Svartalfheim.
Svartalfheim. I thought Svartalfheim was that's Dark Elves, right?
No. Elfheim. There's so many different things.
Whatever.
But if I remember correctly, yeah, Svartalfheim was also dwarves, I believe.
Okay.
There's a lot of different myths about it, but yeah, if you go with what's it called? God of War Ragnarok. It's Svartalfheim. I would look it up right now, but we're not doing Primal Season 2 again, so I'm not going to look it up.
Or Thor 2 The Dark World.
Yeah, that was definitely Elfheim. The Dark World. I believe
Those are
Dark
Elves.
Actually.
Curse and
yes, I know, but I believe Elfheim has both regular elves, and then there's the Underdark kind of area, which is where the Dark Elves were. But either way, we're talking no. We're talking like Matt. So I don't know if you've heard of a video game called Deep Rock Galactic.
Oh hell yeah.
They did a song in their most recent album that came out like late last year. And it's literally just called Rock and Stone. It's just a Deep Rock Galactic song. It is amazing.
That's fun.
These Windrose is the guys on their second album. They did a metal cover of I Am a Dwarf and I'm Digging a Hole. Diggy hole. Not even kidding. But anyway. I've also had like random metal mixes out. So, I mean, I may not have known any of the names, but I have been trying to broaden it a little bit by trying to listen to some bands that I'm familiar with and that I'm not familiar with.
Oh, that's good.
But that's not the Death Clock way. because Death Clock, only Death Clock.
Hell yeah. Did love to know.
But now, we should probably get started because, uh, yeah, we should probably get started with the seventh episode of season 2 of Metalocalypse. Dethwedding. Yeah, it's just Dethwedding. So, before we start, what's the best wedding you went to?
Probably our friend Jeremy Auerbach's wedding because it was at a really fancy hotel, but also it was open bar and it was fucking excellent.
Yeah.
I got drunkest I've ever been at a wedding. It was very cool. I of course I have to shout out my friend, my best friend Ed. I was the best man at his wedding, which was very fun and nice and in his backyard and very like small and just family. It was great.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but yeah, for me, it wasn't.
Was fun.
Oh yeah, I bet it was. But for me, my best one is that time I went to Albuquerque, New Mexico to see my oldest brother get married.
Oh, nice.
Albuquerque was really good that time of year. Was it hot? Yeah. Was there shade? Yes. But it was fantastic, and Albuquerque looked great, at least at the time. So. No open bar, unfortunately. So no, I did not get to. And even if I tried to get drunk, my dad was there. So why would I do that? But yeah. So unfortunately, that's not how this one's gonna go, because we start off with a news report about an assassination of the head of Death Clock Australia by this
opens in
by this
Australia.
Terrorist group called the Revengeancers. And of course, did Death Clock say anything about it? No, they're actually just checking their mail. Subpoena, Netflix, naked lady mail. Could be good, could be bad. Oh, by the way, Pickles, you got something. And we find out that Pickles gets a fucking DVD of his brother Seth being like, "Hey, I'm a changed man. So I'm getting married. I just got out of prison and I'm getting married, and I want your band to come there." And as always, when it comes to Pickles' family life, he is in absolute distraught.
Yeah, he says, "Remember to bring your heart."
Yeah, remember to bring your heart. And then we get the we get the title card, and then we get the tribunal, who are talking about how marriages are very bleak, very horrible.
Talking about Seth just getting out of prison too, right? They say Seth just got released from jail. He's trying to reunite with Pickles, obviously, but then they bring out their wedding expert.
Hey Matt, what's the wedding expert's name?
Dr. Milminaman Ilham Swinwamley. Dr. Milminaman Ilham Swinwamley.
I have a story to tell about that. Yes, weddings are a
designed
scam.
to enrage family members, and the people who really profit are vendors, marketers, and religion is the people who actually profit from this and the misery that this brings to everybody.
Right, it's like a lot of them end in like murdering each other. A lot of them end in murder-suicide, or the best possible outcome, tolerable hatred for each other. and of course, General Crozier is just like, wait. They shouldn't get. Death Clock should not get anywhere near or involved in anything with marriage. And of course, Mr. Salesi is like, no, let them endure the darkness. I can't. I'm sorry, I cannot. Mark Hamill. I cannot. Mark Hamill.
He's wonderful.
Meanwhile, in fucking, I forget where in Wisconsin. I always forget the name of it. It's something stupid, too.
Yeah, probably some silly meme. Some silly joke. Murderface is really happy about how upset Pickles is. And Toki's like, "Oh, man, I love the kissings and the huggings and the open bars." And I'm like, hell yeah, Toki, I totally agree.
And of course, Quizgar's like, the only two things that marriages are is for, it was adultery, and I forget what the other one was, actually.
Yeah, I forgot to.
Yeah, either way, he's like, and by the way, Tokis, don't hit the saw so hard. I know there's an opens bars, but like you got to lay off the. And of course, Toki's like, nah, I'm gonna be fine. It's gonna be good. And Pickles is literally like physically drained of everything right now. Even the color of his skin is gone.
Yeah, he says, well, he's
And
just
then,
hoping that his brother's doing well. He's like, hey, man, he's met somebody, he's getting a job or something, hopefully, maybe my brother's actually doing well. And then, of course, we
yeah,
meet Seth comes in.
yeah, yeah, we meet Seth and his fucking wife, fiance. I think I want to say her name was Amber or something.
Yeah, I
Not
write it down.
important. She's literally every time she's on screen, except for the actual marriage part, she's just texting on her phone, not paying attention. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, so of course Pickles' mom is just like, look, he's a changed man. Look at him. He's a professional, like literally praising every little bit, even though it's just like the attic in his parents' house, just redone.
Yep.
Give your brother a hug, and of course, Seth's just like, yeah, it's good to hug a brother, right? And he like pretty much is like in his weird, creepy ass, mumbly way, is like trying to milk Pickles for all the money he's worth because family trauma and
Yeah, of
weddings.
course.
And of course, it's like, hey, look, it's Death Clock. Cool. It's a good thing you guys are throwing my bachelor party at a strip club. And then, of course,
Yeah, they're just like, okay.
yeah, they're like, and then, of course, at the strip club, Seth is drinking, even though he claimed to be sober, just being a real shithead. His friends are like,
His scumbag
like,
friends, yeah.
yeah, his
He's like,
scumbag
yeah,
friends are
this
just
is
milking him for
dealing drugs
and
and scheming on high school chicks are just a couple of creeps. Like, yeah, hey, Rich,
yeah,
they call him rich bitch.
and right. And then of course, it says like, hey, on stage, drunk and shit, like, hey, I'm gonna do this next one. This next dance is for my brother. And then like two strippers are giving him a lap dance as Pickles is literally just sitting there, completely drained of everything. And of course, Squiscar's like, don't get hepatitis C from those skanks. And then of course Nathan's like, dude, okay, real talk though, I do them. And Squiscar's like, yeah, I would do them too, because it's Squiscar.
Of course.
And then of course, Pickles is like, I really need to. We should probably, turn it in right now. It's just like, but fuck no, I just ordered shots. Then the next day happens with the rehearsal dinner.
They are all hungover at the rehearsal dinner, and Seth gives a big old speech about Pickles. Like, yeah, my brother Pickles gets everything. He gets all the money, he gets all the attention, and I don't get anything. And like Pickles kind of just sitting there, just like, ugh, this is annoying. And he says, well, I'm looking forward to some business endeavors with the band. Gonna help me with some money options. And then we see Pickles trying to escape, like trying to flee the wedding reception.
Literally just trying to fucking climb the fence, and everyone, and even the band is like, dude, no, this is a wedding. You gotta do it because it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, this is way too fucking funny. And like while he's trying to get Murderface punches him in the stomach a bunch. Pickles says like, everyone is on his side and they're all gonna hate me if I don't help them, but this is bullshit. And he was like, come on, Pickles, you gotta do it. It's your family, and it's really the really funny bit. Seth and the gang pop up again and they say, hey Pickles, can you borrow your credit card?
And then the wedding happens.
To the actual reception. The wedding and the reception, everything's real quick. It's like a real quick cut of everybody.
About 2,000 Scandinavian people came over to America and got fat and ugly.
Yep, that's the Midwest.
According to Squisgar. Yeah.
And Toki is also already very drunk at the bar, just like yelling and screaming at everybody, being crazy. Then like random guys talking to Murderface and Nathan about the guitars and stuff, and he's just like really boring.
Yeah, just like, oh my god, it just lingers so much. And then like, yeah, they're all making an ass of themselves. But then, as it's time for the big reveal.
Toki mentions starting a band named Toki, and then he vomits.
Yeah, and then there's all that. Oh yeah, and passes out. But it's just, like the man keeps bothering Murderface and Nathan. They're like, they notice Seth's friends, and they're like, hey, look, Pickles is over there, and they just steal his fucking wallet. But then we get to the end, like, the big reveal. Death Clock's gift to Seth, and it's a goddamn blender.
It's after the before the song. There's a song that they do.
Oh yeah. Actually, it's an unreleased song called "Life Sentence."
Yeah, okay. I figured it was another released one.
And I'm sad because it was a really good one, and it has really good visuals about marriage and all that shit.
Yeah, it was very funny. Yeah, Seth on the stage opens the thing, and it's a blender.
It's a blender, and he gets really fucking pissed off. And you know what?
You cheap piece of shit. He says, and then Pickles, of course.
attacks the shit out of him. And this is one of my favorite scenes, like probably the only favorite scene, because it's just like Nathan and Murderface just chilling out, just like, you know what, you can't buy this kind of entertainment. No, this kind of family drama here. Like, no, it's kind of like an eclipse or something. You just had to be there. Just
Yeah.
enjoying this, and then all of a sudden, all of the like you hear sirens in the background, and Squizgar's like, "We got to go. The cops are on their way here," and they pretty much run away, and they get on the fucking their big ass fucking tank machine thing
Yeah,
that's their vehicle.
as
And
usual.
out of all of this, everyone's like, "Dude, that was fucking amazing. That was the best wedding ever. I've never seen so much." And Pickles, despite everything that happened, is like, dude, I feel bad for my brother. It's like, wait, why? You fucking hate his guts? I know, but I still feel bad for him. You see like a fucking hologram of Charles, like,
Oh
do
wait,
you
before that,
want
Toki says that's what families
Yeah.
is. People's that use hate.
Yes, that's right. It is like because apparently in this moment, Squizgar and Toki have to have that Scandinavian fucking wisdom, and yeah, Toki's is like,
Yeah.
but that's what families is, people's whom's you hates, and you know, Pickles is like, yeah, I guess that's true. A hologram of Charles Charles appears. He's like, you wanted to talk to me, and Pickles is like, I feel bad about all this. Can't we just like get him a job or something? And everyone, the band is just like, wait, what are you talking about? That's not gonna fix anything. And Charles is like, well, if you want, I know of one job that could definitely that we could definitely give him, something very dangerous and very far away. He could be the head of Death Clock Australia. And then after like Pickles thinks about it, you just see newspapers talking about how Pickles says yes. You see like Sydney, Australia, and then like it's just like, yeah, you know, he said yes. Now Pickles' brother is now head of Death Clock Australia, and then you see like more and more Sydney, Australia is under fire. It's like riots break out. This is like a big hot like homage of crime and everything, and you just see Seth with his now wife and his baby just smirking as they're walking at, like looking outside at the burning
Yeah.
Sydney, Australia. And
Yeah,
that's
it says that. Yeah, the newspapers say first. It says like, yeah, the Revengers again tried to assassinate Seth, but then he took all the police from around the city to guard only him, and that's why the city's going into chaos. It's why because he did that shit. So yeah, he's just an all-around asshole. Very, very funny.
fucking charlatan, that man. Yeah, so Matt,
Hmm.
have you ever, like with anyone, could be a friend of yours, could be a family member, could be some schmuck bag that you've just met in the street or something, have you ever gotten like had them do something just so they could get them the fuck away from you?
I mean, probably, yeah, I do that all the time. I always send people at work to do stuff for me just to get them so I don't have to talk to them. Or at work, if it's like not a lot of people and it's like some annoyingly talkative client waiting for their pet to get seen at the hospital, I will put them in a room just so I don't have to fucking talk to them. I do that all the time.
Is there
Very
any like
common.
any particular stories you want to get out there?
I mean, no, it just is very common that a talkative weirdo is just trying to like see what like bothering me on my third shift job, and I'm just like, I didn't pick this job to talk to people. Go away, please.
Okay. Well, then
But
let me
any
ask
specific
you.
examples is difficult. Yeah.
But well, then let me ask you a better question. Have like any of those scenes from like the wedding, like from Seth's wedding and stuff like that? Were there any moments like that that you just looked at and you're just like, you know what? I know exactly how you're feeling right now, kind of thing.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say, yeah. Anytime you're like stuck with annoying family members, I was gonna talk about, yeah, like I've fortunately never had to like work with anybody who I'm like related to. I mean, it's come close because I've tried to get my nieces and nephews jobs at other stuff before while they were fucking up and being idiots. But I fortunately have never had to like actually that much stress with a family member. I've worked on projects with my sister for like Mother's Day or Father's Day or Christmas gifts for our parents and stuff like that, and that is like more than stressful enough. We made our mom a huge bouquet of origami flowers, and like making those, like it was like 20-30 flowers we made, and that was stressful. We made a like compilation video of all these baby photos to adulthood photos of one of our parents, to like a montage, like a slideshow thing for like a DVD thing, that what they wanted. And it was just like, it was, working with family members is always an absolute nightmare. Especially big projects like that. Yeah, I was gonna say, we covered, I was gonna say, we pretty much covered mostly wedding stuff because we did the whole Young Justice first arc was about weddings. So I think we pretty much wrung any conversations about weddings dry. But what about your end?
Okay, yeah, well, like the one thing that I watched and I'm just like, you know what? I fucking feel that, was when the old man was talking to Nathan and Murderface. Not only do I have a few family members like that, but I've been to weddings of people who I like don't know many people of, and I've been in that situation before, and my God, okay. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But for those of you who don't, when you get into a conversation like that, it is so goddamn hard to find an out. Like, we have like, there's a few family members on my on my side of things where there is someone who will just talk and talk like that to the point where a different family member will literally just swoop in and be like, "Hey, I think you're needed over here," and they will bail you out. That's how bad it gets.
I'm somebody who always has a very ready fuck off ready for myself anytime I'm done with somebody. I unfortunately been to a bad wedding, which is very good because I've only been to so many. I think most of them I've been with friends. You know, I have a huge amount of family. Like not too many close people I have been like married, but a lot of friends have been, and I've been to their wedding. So fortunately, no family members are trying to talk to me.
Right. But now this episode right here, the one that we just got done with, of all of these like fucking episodes, this is one of my low ones that I don't like. Really? Actually,
I thought it was really.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It was funny on certain parts, but like, I don't know. It's just like all of the shit that was going on. I'm sitting here. I'm like, one of the things that Metalocalypse can do very well is like one scene, like in season 1 when the Death Clock family like goes and visits Death Clock and everything for the first time. Yeah. The goddamn chewing scene with Murderface's grandma, like fucking, they can stretch this out, like stretch out boring ass shit or like, oh my God, I hate this kind of things wonderfully well to make a point. This entire episode to me felt like just one of those gags, but a full-length episode.
Yeah, it's just a shitty, annoying character getting away with being shitty and annoying for 11 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much. Annoying.
Of course. Yeah.
And honestly, like, I honestly hate Seth. That's obviously what this show wants to. Yeah, the show actually wants you to hate him and everything, but like, I've met like 2 or 3 people that were just about on his level of shitastic. And oh my God. So this one was like kind of personal for me. Like, I don't fucking like this. Like, the moment that really made me smile was the moment Pickles started beating the fucking shit out of him because he deserved it. Yeah. Well, but well, and like you said also, like, this is just another wedding episode. Yeah, it's satirical and it's supposed to make fun and shit like that. But this was absolutely just another wedding episode. We've kind of run that thing to the ground. So, to desensitize ourselves from this, let's go to episode 8 of season 2 of Metalocalypse. PR Pickles, where we start off with a fucking TV show called Cash-tastrophe, where Pickles is the celebrity helper to just one of the contestants.
You forgot the premise of the show. It's Cash-tastrophe: win or be killed with cash.
Yep. and it's even stretched out to the point where the host is like, all right, sir, Pickles is your celebrity helper pal, and if you can get this question right, you will win. Like $1 million is going to rain from the ceiling, and you
And
are going to be able to get it all. But if he gets this wrong, you will die by cash.
yeah,
And
Pickle
of
says,
course,
I don't really get it, but my PR lady said I should do this, so here I am.
yeah, and by the way, Pickles is very strange in this episode because he's wearing like a tank top with an upside down ankh on it, and just like visibly like more drunk than usual kind of thing. And as the question, the $1 million question, what celestial body is no longer considered a planet? Which everyone knows that it's Pluto, but it's Death Clock. Ooh, that's a tough question. And literally, like it's Squizgar and the band are watching this. Like Squizgar's like, it's the sun's. I believe it's the sun. Murderface is like, that's not a fair question. It could be anything.
Yeah.
And that's when Toki's just worried about Pickles, and it's like, oh no, Pickles is going to screws up, and this lady who just happens to be there, who's known to be the PR lady, is just like, no, this is excellent exposure. And Nathan's like, wait, who the hell is this chick? Toki's like, don't you remember, this is Pickles' PR manager? And Nathan's like, not a groupie? Correct. Never mind
then.
And then of course Pickles' guess is like, the Earth. And of course it's like, nope, I'm sorry.
The Earth.
Yeah, I'm going to go on a limb and say Earth is no longer a planet. I am so sorry, and I'm sorry, but you have to die by money. And literally, a fucking plastic tube goes around the guy, and he literally gets blended to death by fucking, like, nickels and dimes and shit.
Yeah. Hilarious.
And of course, the PR lady is like, this is great exposure. And then we get the title card.
Yeah. Yep.
And then... Yep, and then we go back to the tribunal where Senator Stampington is like, gentlemen, let me introduce you to Liz Bain, Pickles' new PR lady. And of course, there's other aliases, like Crozier calls her Liz Blackfin, and of course, Vater is like also known as Liz Deatheye. Yeah, Death Eyes. And apparently this lady is a religious radical from the 70s. She has created so many cults. And I mean a lot of cults. Like the biggest one being something called the Order of the Dybbuk.
Yeah.
What do they do?
Ooh, well, we'll get into that at the end of the episode.
No. I mean
the cult. What?
Yeah, I'm talking about
of the cult.
They describe what they've done in
I
this episode.
thought you meant the word what Dybbuk are, because Dybbuk I want to get into. But yeah,
we'll get there when we get there. But yeah,
the cult kill is like they wanted to think that the world was going to be reincarnated in French people, so they just started killing a bunch of French people in France. They did a huge massacre at a cafe,
and yet somehow, Liz Bain herself was cleared of all charges.
Yeah,
and thus years later, she started a public relations firm called Exodus. Yep. And the tribunal suspects that Exodus is more than PR work.
Yeah, back with the band, they all want PR people. The band's meeting with Charles and saying, "Hey, we want PR people," and Charles is like, "I am a PR person."
No, we want a real PR person. I am a real PR person. No, we want a real one. And then Toki just flat out says it. We want a lady. And Charles is like,
Well,
all right then. Yeah, right. He's like, all right then. I love that build up so much. But anyway, and then of course, we
see Pickles at a movie premiere and going to a bunch of different displays. They say Pickles is everywhere now. As they the Death Clock Minute dude's talking about. Charles says that there's such thing as bad PR, and the band's just watching no, he's all over the place. And we see Pickles drunk at an award show where he falls and rips somebody's top off.
Yeah, and then as all of this is happening, to everyone else but Pickles is Toki's playing a arcade game, And like everyone else is like, dude, the three of us. Nathan's like, the three of us need to start our own PR firm. Yeah, I seconds it. I third it. And Toki's like, wait a minute, why are you excluding me? Sorry, you missed your opportunity. That's not fair. I'm right here. I can hear everything. So long and short of it, Toki gets shafted out of another bad idea. Thank goodness for that. While
Yeah,
Nathan, Murderface, and Squizgar start their own PR firm.
of course.
Meanwhile, on a different like TV show, it's like I think this one's like a chat with Paula and Paula or something like that.
Yeah, on chat with
Even
Paula and Paula.
yeah, even drunker than before, just like having an interview with them, and as he is literally watching this with his PR lady, he's like, I don't know if this was a good idea or something. And Liz is like, no, this is fantastic. This is fantastic exposure, but I don't kind of like what's going on with this because I mean I was slurring a little bit. I may have
Yeah,
had a
he was
drink.
like completely, he was like completely incoherent, mumbling and screaming about nothing the entire interview. It was
Yeah,
amazing.
right. And Liz is just like, you need to relax because this is all we need. We need you to be the most famous out there, and you are doing just that.
hmm We see the band's first PR meeting. They're kind of just all. Our Murderface is trying to lead the meeting, but Nathan is just repeating everything that he says every time he makes a point. We see them kind of just getting into it and like yelling at each other, and they're really not making any progress. But Murderface says that he wants to run the meeting, and so Toki says, "Hey, what about I can help?" And he's sitting in on it, but they're like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" They don't want Toki involved.
Nope, Togi
And
does not get involved. And then we get like a death clock minute where it's just
oh,
like,
they say wait,
yeah,
they say their plan. The plan for
oh
their PR
yeah,
company is to advertise somewhere. Like everyone's on TV, we need to go somewhere where it's not on TV. And then we got to the
yeah,
death clock minute.
and then at the death clock minute, it's like, hey, Pickles is now the most in-demand celebrity alive, and Exodus has become the world's largest PR firm thanks to his success. And then, of course, and also the rest of Death Clock is trying to build their own,
PR firm.
PR firm, and that's the Death Clock minute. Meanwhile, you see Nathan and them just in front of fucking Juice Joint, being like, okay, Murderface is like, all right, here we go. Here's our press release right here. And Nathan's like, wait a minute, shouldn't we like give this to the press? This is why it's called a press release. And Murderface is like, wow, ignorant. And
Yeah, he's like, well, if we give it to the press, it'd be reporters all over the place. It's very
yeah,
stupid.
isn't that the
The
point?
point.
And
Yeah, the kid's like, oh
of
my
course,
god, holy shit, you're Murderface. And he's
no,
just,
no, no,
kidding.
no, you're not. No, we're not. Get out of here, kid. You're ruining our press release.
Yeah, they
And
show his
of course,
face. So,
and Squiscar's like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I got an idea. Why don't we promote somewhere so that no one says promoted before? It's
yeah.
just like, let's just say that long and short, they are not doing a good job with this.
No, we
And
see
even
giant
later,
slabs of their PR firm everywhere. We see one in the middle of the sea. We see one in the middle of the Antarctic, and then we see another big giant slab of theirs in space, just floating where no one can see it.
and meanwhile, we see all of them minus Pickles, like it just sitting in the living area, and Charles just walks up and goes, I've noticed you're spending. You spent $17 million on huge stone slabs with your names on it, huh?
Even the
Well,
news said they're PR for no one, for
yeah,
nobody.
PR for no one. Just gonna throw it out there. That's not making you money. Just that's it. And then he just literally leaves, and they're not the best use of money. He's even like sarcastic, like, "Good work, guys. Whatever," and just, well, what are we doing wrong? I mean, look at Pickles everywhere. And Toki's like, look at this, holds up a cooking magazine with Pickles on it. And of course,
Mm-hmm.
they're all like, wow, he's never even cooked. I mean, have you ever had his coconut chocolate macarons? And then Pickles just walks in, and everyone's just like, whoa, who's that? Oh my God, it's Pickles from the magazine, and pretty much
From the
razzing him.
TV. Yeah. Oh my god, it's Pickles from
And
the
it,
TV.
he's a lot shorter than we thought. Oh, wait, I know you. And Pickles is like, hey, I got us a gig. So, as a favor from our publicist, from the publicist. So, you're welcome. Meanwhile, cuts to the Exodus offices where Pickles is, Pickles and Liz are talking. And Liz is like, this is going to be the most important show ever. And Pickles is like, hey, I got you a calendar with the guy who puts gray dogs in human clothes and stuff. And she's like, thanks, but I have no use for Earth calendars anymore. And Pickles is like, wait, what? And she's like, here, this is what I got you. And it's a $5 Hot Topic card. And she's like, you've been doing extraordinary. And, Pickles is weirded the fuck out. And it's just like, okay, well, gotta go and get ready for the show. And she's like, good. Do not be late. Okay. I won't. No, this is very important. I get it. Thanks. And it slowly, awkwardly leaves. And then
he's
on
like,
her
Pickles,
computer,
like, yeah, don't be late. He says it one more time after he's
right. Just but then after he finally leaves, you see her with her computer open, and we get to see the secret plan. Step 1: make Pickles the drummer the most popular celebrity alive. Step 2: use that influence to acquire millions of followers. Step 3: take all of their Step 3, and I quote, take their money, all of it. Step 4: torture and brainwash. Step 5: plan death clock event around Niles' comet collision. Wait, what? Step 6: followers drink poison grape drink, because it's always a grape drink. Step 7, and the final step: kill death clock.
Yeah, so at the concert, the band is upset at all the cultists getting their cups of grape drink all over, and they can't have anything. And they're just like sitting there, well, they got all the grape drink. Yeah, man, I want some of that. It looks so good. They just got sitting there jealous of all these cultists.
And of course, Liz is like, Pickles, you're late. Get over here. This is important. And Pickles is like, okay, that's cool. Do we have any songs about Destiny? And Nathan says one of my favorite things. Yeah, I guess I could just throw it in there. I mean, what the hell? I mean, no one can understand a word I say anyway. And thus we get their performance of, which is actually on a release song from the second Death album, the Comet Song.
Comet Song, yeah.
Yes, and of course, they're performing. The band, the band performs. The cultists are strapped to chairs, watching everything. The comet is coming in. Liz leaves and runs off with all the valuables. The cultists are dying. They're getting poisoned and shit. The comet is still coming near. It is still coming over, and it hits one of the fucking PR things that's in outer space. Yeah. But before it actually misses the cultist and the band, a weird face appears with weird words and stuff, and then it misses, and then we get the ending.
Know what that is, Ben.
I'm gonna get there. Yeah. And then after that weird voice of someone who's totally not Mr. Salacia or anything. Yeah. The comet, as the end credits roll by, the comet, Liz is like, haha, I'm free. And then the fucking comet hits her car. And then a comet hits every single PR station. And of course, the death clock death minute is just like, hey, this has been crazy. And a comet hits the entire studio, and he burns to a crisp and melts his flesh. And then that's where the episode ends.
Oh, there's one more guy you missed who got the comet hit.
The kid at the juice bar. Who did I miss?
The kid at the juice bar gets hit. Also, the kid at the juice bar.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's right. Holy! Yeah, you're right. He gets hit too.
Very, very funny.
That's where the episode ends. So, Matt, question number 1.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite cult?
Probably Jonestown's pretty cool. Haley's Comic guys are pretty interesting. The Nixium, the new recent one with what's her name from Smallville, is pretty funny.
Wait. Also, there's a new one?
No, it's a couple years ago, probably. Nixium, the celebrity one. And then, of course, the funniest one of all time, the one that I've actually went out of my way to get pamphlets and shit for, Scientology. That's a pretty funny one.
Hell yeah, I knew you were going to mention Scientology, because that's one of the bigger ones.
Hell yeah, it's funny as hell. I fucking love that.
Did you not want to bring up, the Charles Manson family cult that everyone joined as well?
Did you watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood yet?
No, I have not.
Okay, definitely check it out. It's what's his name? Quentin Tarantino dealing with the Manson cult. It's very good.
Oh shit! I didn't even know that was topical. But you know what my favorite cult of all time is?
Mm.
The one that I created in Cult of the Lamb.
Cult of the Lamb is fucking dope as hell. I think
Dude,
it was fun as
right? It
shit.
is such a fun game.
Oh yeah, I would say cult shows. There's a ton of them, and also I always like try to implement those kind of things in my like tabletop games and stuff like that, or like I love reading books about them. But have you ever seen the show The Following?
Nope.
It was a show on I think it was one of the basic cable channels for a couple years ago, probably almost 10, 15 years ago. It starred Kevin Bacon in an actual TV show, and he was like FBI agent trying to investigate this like serial killer who was like going around making all these cults of other serial killers, and it was really really fantastic. It went on for several seasons. It has like some insane, ridiculous
Interesting.
twists and like insane stuff that happened in it. It's really really good. The Following, definitely check it out if you can find it anywhere.
Okay. I mean,
One of my biggest
hashtag
recommendations.
not hashtag not so shameless plug right here for a show that we're probably never gonna cover because it's probably not an action cartoon. Um, but yeah, just like some of the mentalities of some of these cults really elude me. But then again, I'm not a sheeple, so there's that. But just oh
Yeah,
my
yeah,
god,
yeah.
and oh, ookum spookum. We had a Salacia moment where he was doing something spooky.
Yeah, you know what you were saying?
Well, the thing he said was like incoherent. I thought.
No, no, no. Yeah, you can hear what he says. He's saying the prophecy.
Is that what he's saying?
Oh yeah,
Because
he's saying the prophecy. Apparently,
I swear
I'd
it
look it up
was.
in trivia. Yeah,
Wait, what?
the subtitles didn't weren't like I don't even know that the subtitles said what he said, but I looked it up online later and like on their trivia on the website he said the prophecy.
Ah, okay, good. Because it sounded like he said something, and it might have been like in reverse or something like that.
Yeah, I had no
But
idea what the fuck he was saying. It sounded like completely mumbled, but it was yeah. Apparently, it's Celicio saying the prophecy. The also thing I wanted to bring up, of course, Dybbuk. Do you know what the Dybbuk is?
no, I don't. But I know you're going to enlighten me.
Okay, because like first became familiar with this term way back in the early '90s on a little show called Rugrats,
Oh
where
boy.
Tommy's family is I don't know if they're half Jewish or fully Jewish, but whatever they're the Jewish side of his family. The other grandpa was talking to him about Dybbuk, which is an old Jewish like evil spirit that I just knew I found from that show like introduced me to that also introduced me to like Moses and like Hanukkah and all that kind of stuff like that. It was very interesting growing up and hearing that kind of stuff. But yeah, Dybbuk are like evil spirits in like old Jewish myth. And then a couple like probably like another like 10, 15 years ago, a movie that I don't know if I probably didn't see it with you then, I probably saw it with Ed when we were still like a bunch of different random horror movies in a row, called The Possession, which was about a Dybbuk in a like box that was like killing people. Like this lady had an old box from her old Jewish like relatives or like a family member, something like that, and it was like a Dybbuk that was killing people. So when they said the Order of the Dybbuks, I was like, hey, I know what that reference is.
Wait. So that's an actual like mythological thing.
Yeah, it's an actual Jewish evil spirit called a Dybbuk. Yeah.
Uh which is
Oh, I forgot
weird
the
because it does have like Jewish ties. You said.
yeah.
So why in the show were
Exodus.
they going after French people?
That was I don't know, who knows, but also yeah, the Exodus, which is another reference to Jewish history and all that kind of stuff.
Right,
But
right.
I was
I
thinking,
mean
yeah,
that
the
one's
thing,
more. What's up?
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I was just saying it's just old Kabbalah magic nonsense. And the other thing I
Right,
wanted to bring
right.
up was the Weimaraner calendars. Did you know about those?
The what?
The Weimaraner,
Oh,
the dog, the gray
oh, the
dog.
Weimaraner calendars. I didn't know that was an actual thing, but
Oh yeah, yeah, very famous thing. Another thing back in the aughts in the '90s, you see it all the time. It was a artist who would dress up Weimaraners in like people clothes, and it would look like a human like standing there, but like with the Weimaraner head. And it was like a huge art book thing back in the aughts in the '90s.
okay. Yeah,
Um,
because I know what a Weimaraner is. My mom used to own two of them actually.
Nice. Yeah, it was like a huge art thing back in the days. But then also the Weimaraner used in those pictures that in the book Toki had for the calendar, that's Brendan Small's dog.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, Brandon Small's actual dog is Weimaraner. And
Holy
that was
shit,
pictures
that's
of him.
hilarious.
That's fucking awesome.
That's amazing. Yeah. But yeah, just yeah, this episode was fun. I like the fact that, yeah,
I always love cult stuff.
everybody died except for Death Clock, as
Yeah, the
always.
hilarious, dumb coincidences of the meteor just blowing up everybody, randos in there.
Yes. Looks at the audience. Coincidences. Totally not Mark Hamilling this shit up.
Yeah.
But anyway, but just wow, just again, just cults, man. And by the way, to our lovely listeners who have stuck with us for this long, I know I don't have to tell you this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Don't get involved with cults, kids. Don't get involved with cults. There's no winning with them. There's no winning with them.
Mm-hmm.
If you for other satirical other satirical fucking means for how well it works with cults, go to South Park and watch the Scientology episode.
Oh yeah. Very much.
Please,
very fun.
Please do. It's definitely worth the watch.
Listen to any number of the hundreds of podcasts that talk about cults and their histories and like how people get sunk into them, and it's a crazy ass situation whenever it happens.
But speaking of crazy shit about to go down, we should get to our final episode of this recording, the 9th episode of season 2, Dethcarraldo. That's certainly something. Well, we start off with a nature documentary about this South American tribe known as the
Yanimango. Cannibal Culture. It's
it's called
Culture Ethnographic Special.
Yes, thank you. I actually did not have that name written down. But yeah, it's about this very British man talking about, the Yanimango, which is just like a cannibalistic tribe in South America. And, as he's describing their culture, everyone that's not Nathan Explosion's like, dude, what the fuck are we watching? And Nathan's like, I'm watching this. Like, you guys can leave if you want. Dude, no, just change the channel or something. And Nathan's like, no, I need to watch this. I'm 1/4 Yanimango. I'm just sitting here. I'm like, wait, what? And then at this point, the announcer guy is like, and we see right here that they are using a highly psychedelic hallucinogenic drug known as yopo. in their religious rituals. And Pickles is like, wait. Whoa, rewinds it. Yeah, rewinds it. Yeah, and it like repeats the part about yopo. He's like, dude, they got yopo. And of course that's when Nathan says, we need to go to South America. And then we get the title card.
Oh yeah. The band also they talk about how they use drums to like influence them on the yopo.
Right, yeah.
And they listen to, but I don't think we get this one. I don't think we get the intro for a while for some weird reason. But like, yeah, they talk about they listen to Death. He's like, they have the band listen to Death Clock to see how it would happen, and we hear them listening to the Duncan Hill's Coffee song.
That's right. That's right. We do, and that's when they decide. You know what? Yeah, we're gonna definitely. We're going there. Then we get the title card because it was a very long one. And then we later find them in the library where Pickles is learning more about yopo and the effects it does, and apparently it can manifest your ancient animal form. Where Murderface is getting uncomfortably close, and we're talking gross kind of close, where they're like, dude, brush your teeth and just don't be breathing on me or something. Yeah, and as that's happening, Squizgar and fucking Squizgar and Toki are talking about wood in Brazil that you can make guitars with, but Toki starts pretty much copying him. It's like, why is you got to copy me? I'm not copying you. You're copying me. Stop copying me. Stop copying. And then
stop copying me out.
Yeah, and then we get Nathan reading a diary from his great grandmother or something like that, where it talks about like this lady who got like washed ashore because of a shipwreck, and the Yanimango like started to like do their tribal thing, and rather than her waiting for her husband, she fell in lust with one of one of the Yanimango, and then
Yep.
she finds out she's eating her own husband pretty much, like literally. Actually, I was wrong because they were
Nathan says
watching
we're
us.
going to the Amazon, and now he says, yeah, we're going to the Amazon.
Now is when he does.
That's
Meanwhile, we do not get to go to the tribunal. Instead, we see General Crozier walking over to a room where we hear like this weird voice, like weird talk happening. But then you see a room where Mr. Salacia and Vater Orlog are like in this room, only them. And of course, Salacia is like, good, he's here. Yeah. And Vater's like, I'm sure you understand that we are as concerned as you are about this Amazonian trip. And, Crozier's like, don't worry, I can get my men in an hour. And Orlog's like, don't worry, we have my best soldiers on this. And as Crozier, like, protests, Orlog's like, no, you also have to realize after that last thing you did, we have to keep an eye on you as well. Showing a little bit of distrust for General Crozier and, his lust for wanting Deathclock dead. And then we go to a store where, just fucking more stops copying Zmia and everything.
Yeah, Squizgar and Tokyo are trying to buy equipment, but they're saying, like, I wanted this, and this. They're saying more elaborate stuff that doesn't exist, and they keep trying to one-up each other.
And of course,
stuff copies Zmia.
Yeah, we got, like, fucking... what was it, Pickles? Like, yeah, we should get, like, snakes, those are the biggest worms you can get. And, fucking Charles is like, they'll have plenty of snakes in the Amazon. Wow, you're such a penny pincher, aren't you?
Yeah.
And then, of course, Nathan is like, like, Murderface is like, look at these snacks. He's like eating into fucking snacks. It's like, dude, you need to, like, brush your teeth or, like, talk with your mouth closed or something. Just Murderface is getting worse and worse. And then, of course, Charles is like, can we, like, send them hoodies or something? And
This whole trip seems very unnecessary.
It's always hoodies with you, isn't it? And then we finally cut to like them flying towards the Amazon, and as they're flying to the Amazon, General Crozier and his team are like in a helicopter following them. When a clocketeer who's like driving the fucking hatred copter is just like, that's not supposed to be there. Literally shoots it out of the sky with missiles. And some of them survive, some of them don't. General Crozier being one of the survivors. And then...
we see Murderface reading about the Amazonian catfish that'll swim up your pee hole. He's just saying, oh my god, you can imagine? He's just freaking out about that.
And of course, being even more gross, because not only does he smell bad, but he's talking about something gross while everyone's fucking eating.
Yeah, he's just being really annoying as usual.
But then, of course, one of the most Metalocalypse scenes ever. The fucking hatred copter with a few other helicopters are like, there's the landing zone, clear it. Them fucking getting giant Gatling guns and everything, missiles and everything, just firing into this one giant fucking space. Like,
yeah, you see
murdering all of like the wildlife and everything.
Yeah, you see all kinds of animals just getting killed basically like for several minutes while they're just deforesting the whole thing.
And then, of course, as they're deforesting, they're reloading, and so like people are looking at nudie mags. Some of them are smoking. And I don't know if you noticed it, Matt, but the one clocketeer looking at the nudie mag was wearing something very important.
Oh, I think I missed it.
Yeah, you must have, because there's the one clocketeer looking at the nudie mag. He was wearing a diamond encrusted cod piece.
Oh,
yeah, it was number 216.
Hell yeah, that's funny as hell.
And then, of course, like after like a 5-minute break and after the reload, they just keep going even more. And then the main pilot's just like, drop the death boat. A giant fucking ship, like a fucking longboat metal ass ship, just goes to land and lands like 50 feet in the opposite direction of the landing zone, not even close to it. And then they start going down the river. Yep. And as they're all like, yeah, we see like, a montage of Crozier following them and a map and everything like that. Meanwhile, on the boat, Matt.
Yep. Oh, we see Murderface kind of just like sunbathing in the nude, and everyone walks up on him like, "Oh, what the hell?" We see Squizgar and Pickles both come up on him naked. They're like, "Oh, put your shit away, man." He's like, "Hey, how about here's a nice deal? Put some clothes on for God's sakes." And he's like, all right, yeah, whatever." So Murderface goes over to the side to start peeing, and of course the fish goes right up his junk. And he starts screaming and yelling in pain. But as he's doing that, nobody cares, nobody helps him, and the boat gets stuck suddenly.
I'm sorry, my sires. We cannot go. The river is too narrow. We have to abandon the equipment and no, we can pull this boat up that mountain. And of course they do. Because it's fucking... Yeah, sorry, you were saying?
No, I was saying, they literally force all their people to pull this thing up a huge giant mountain. It's ridiculous. Which is also the main take of the episode.
Yeah, right. Wait. We'll get to that when we get to that. But all of that happens, and once they go downhill from the mountain, like pretty much every single clocketeer that was pulling just fucking gets murderized, and
the boat shoots down the mountain on the other half.
Yeah, down the other half, and then you see Deathclock standing there, and you see the Yanimango like looking at them, and Nathan's like, "My people," and you see like the fucking iconic Metalocalypse like Deathclock like stance, and then you see behind them there's like mountains that are carved like in their likeness
with their faces,
and then you just see like a fire. And then, it's like, oh, what are they going to do to us? And Murderface is like, don't kill me. I'm home to a lot of parasites. They need me to live. He says, I'm pregnant with
parasites. He says, I'm pregnant with parasites. They need me. And he says, maybe they'll breed us with their women's. Or maybe they'll just kill us. Who knows? They're just being stupid.
And of course... Yeah, it's just being stupid and everything. But all of a sudden, you see...
But after Murderface says that he's pregnant with parasites, Squizguy says, I have a bunch of little goofball dildos depending on me's too.
Hey,
and then Toki says, I have a bunch of little goofball dildos. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because then Squizguy's like, you know what just fucking kills me? And you hear Toki trailing up like, this thing kills me too. But then you see like a fucking long-ass pipe. And Pickles knows this. He's like, oh shit. It's Yopo! Guys, dudes, if we're gonna die high! And then they all get Yopo as they perform fucking, the very first song on the second Death album, Bloodlines. Really fucking good song too, mind you.
Nice.
But as the band's hallucinating, Pickles is Pickles' thing that he mentioned earlier is actually very true. Like you see, Pickles as an octopus. You see Squizgar as an owl. You see Toki as a jackrabbit. You see Murderface as a white tiger. You see Nathan as this like alligator type guy.
Yeah,
and they're all funny. All the drums are playing. They're all we're good, everything's a good time. And as you see General Crozier watching this from a distance, the Yanimango actually get all of them with Yopo, and
all
General
of the soldiers
Crozier
are sprayed.
Yep, and you see General Crozier seeing this strangely demonic creature,
like a giant goat, man.
Yeah, like a giant goat-like creature as well. And you see Cardinal Ravenwood with his fucking corpse ass, like with the intestines wrapped around his eyes gone. And all he says is, General, beware, General Crozier, you are dead. And as the Yanamigo proceed to devour all of the soldiers, and that's where the episode ends.
Yep, the episode just ends there. Unresolved what the hell happens to the band, but I assume that they're fine. Very fun episode. A lot of movie references in this episode. It was the whole thing was a huge amount of movie references.
Oh, was it now? But before we get into that, Matt, have you actually been south of anywhere south of Texas? If so, where?
No, the furthest I've been would be of that's still on our mainland would be probably just Mexico.
Oh, you've just been to Mexico? Okay.
I've been to Hawaii, but I don't think that really counts because it's a different place.
Unfortunately, the furthest south I've ever been was Belize,
Oh
And
yeah, we talked
because
about
I
that
mean,
earlier in the season.
yeah, oh
In
yeah,
the season,
I've mentioned that before on this show. Unfortunately, I can't ask where you've been in South America because you and I have never been to South America before.
No, no, yeah.
Have you ever wanted to go to the Amazon?
Not particularly.
All right,
Terrifying.
now,
There's a
Hey Matt.
billion animals and plants and shit that cause cancer. They're all deadly poisonous shit down there. Crazy forests and shit. The water wouldn't be acclimatized to me. I'd get sick. You know, it'd be crazy. Too
Right.
much stress. But it's
Now,
beautiful, and I love rainforests in concept, and I love zoos with all the exotic animals. I love doing that. But yeah, no, I never. I have no interest in going to South America.
now let me ask you a different question. Have you ever had Have you ever had hallucinations before?
Uh, no. I don't. I have not done hallucinogenic drugs specifically.
Oh well,
Whenever I have had
whoa,
anything
whoa,
like
whoa,
extremely
whoa!
powerful,
I am
like
not saying
painkillers
have
or
you been
whatever, I
taking
just
drugs or
pass out. I
anything.
just fall asleep.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wasn't talking about drugs, my dude. Fuck, don't do drugs, kids. Do not do drugs. We do not
Unless you're being
condone the use
responsible.
of drugs like that. Yeah,
Unless
yes.
you're responsible, you're taking it with somebody who can, help your trip.
However, I just asked if you have had hallucinations in any capacity whatsoever.
No, I don't think so. Like I've had no, not really. I don't think so.
That sucks. This was a boring topic. Then that was my question
Okay.
of the day. You were supposed to have some crazy story. Now sometimes
Have
it be
you?
like that. Like no, fuck no, I haven't. You kidding me?
Okay.
I have not
Well, it's good, then.
hallucinated about anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would like to point out, of all the guest voices in here, did you know that the Yanimango had a famous metal performer as their guest voice?
Who?
Fucking Selenaz from Demu Borgir, or Demu Borgir, however you want to say it.
Not familiar
Very
with the band,
good,
obviously, but let's go.
very good metal band. I highly recommend. Death Call Armageddon and fucking what's the other album I have? Filling in the space with bullshit because that's how it go. Abrahadabra. Those are two of my favorite albums from that band. Highly
Oh, yeah.
recommended, especially if you like actual death metal-y kind of stuff.
That's fun. That's cool as hell.
Yeah. But yeah, so now, Matt,
Yeah.
what do you think, like, if you were to have like a fucking animal form, what would it be? Yep, we're going here. We're fucking going here.
Probably some kind of wildebeest. I'm pretty chill, but I'm also pretty big. So, I don't know. Hippo would be cool. The fucking deadliest animal on the planet.
That's fine.
That'd be dope as shit. What about you?
Honestly, may not be the biggest of them all, but I probably would be some kind of like grizzly bear or something, because yeah, I can be chill at times, but when I get pissed off, I really get fucking pissed off.
Oh yeah, I would probably say a freaking Suchomimus or Deinonychus.
Okay,
some
Matt,
kind of
Matt,
dinosaur, ancient crocodile. What?
Matt, you
Yeah.
are literally like the most deceptive thing, and you like to steal shit. You'd be a Struthiomimus.
Struthiomimus would be fun. Any Oviraptoid would be cool as hell. Gigantoraptor,
Right.
that'd be fun.
But yeah,
The biggest
Oviraptor of
there
these. So of these three that we watched, Matt, what was your favorite of these episodes?
Probably this last Amazon one was very fun. This one's very like high in my memory. I remembered this one a lot because there was a lot of promos and stuff with the Yopo and everything. But also it's just a nice little change of scenery, and this big band kind of going on a little journey, a little adventure is always really cool. As opposed to them staying where they are, or just like being taken around in the society. They're like in the middle of nowhere, so that's very fun. But also I do like cults, so this batch was pretty fun. And I don't mind Seth episodes because it's just him being a shithead.
That's
but
fine.
yeah, I like this batch. But yeah, the Amazon one was the most fun.
Good. Yeah, absolutely. Because like I remember, because I had a moment where I did not watch Metalocalypse for the longest time, and then one time on Adult Swim they were showing reruns, and the first episode I watched that got me kind of back into it was the fucking Yopo episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Ben,
I remember that. It was great. Yeah, what's
hell
up?
yeah. I was gonna say, have you seen any movies that take place in South America? Because I guess this episode was like a huge bunch of references to a bunch of famous old
South
movies.
America. I'm gonna say not at the top of my head.
Okay. Have you never seen the name of the episode? Dethcarraldo's reference to Fitzcarraldo, which is about a like I don't know if it was U.S. or some kind of European ship, but in South America that did need to get over a mountain, and the whole thing is like the group trying to get the boat over the giant hills, like the whole plot of the movie. That's what
Right.
Fitzcarraldo's reference is.
Okay. Okay.
And also
Gotcha.
the movie Sorcerer is really fucking crazy. It's about these like CIA dudes trying to transport a like shitty old car wagon full of dynamite across like an incredibly dangerous rainforest. And that's what the episode of The Mandalorian was based on. I think they even had like the writer help or something like that. But like, yeah, it's like a huge sensitive thing of dynamite that they're trying to transport through this really rocky, crazy, foresty thing, like to not to like the help some kind of other tribe, but like also the people are constantly in danger. It's a really cool movie. Sorcerer, definitely check it out. And then of course the like catfish that swims up your pee holes, the Kandiru, which is from The Medicine Man with Sean Connery's movie called The Medicine Man, where that's like he mentions that and it's like the most famous thing about that movie to this day. And the other thing, of course, obviously the cannibals. Have you seen any of the Cannibal Holocaust movies or Cannibal Ferox or any of those?
Unfortunately, no. Although when I was younger,
I would say,
and
fortunately, no. They're pretty fucked up. They like kill a lot of animals, like real animals, on screen, and the movie's just
yeah,
full of,
yeah,
tons of really bad stuff.
sorry, I misspoke. It was a fortunately, so it was supposed to be a fortunately because I already heard about how they filmed those movies and stuff, and
Yeah, but also the context is
I
also
mean,
really bad.
yeah, I mean, like it's a brutal like shock horror kind of thing, which some people like that stuff, some people don't, but like a lot of the things they did like were like worse than The Shining and how they treated that lady. Like that was
Yeah.
worse.
Oh, yeah.
Cannibal Holocaust alone was like it was much worse on how they did the recording and everything like that. So yeah, just I mean I would not recommend it, but I mean there's something out there for everyone, I guess.
Yeah. But also, yeah, the whole, the South American trip is a very interesting like area, and there are a lot of movies in the 80s and 90s about going to South America, just people going to South America being weirded out by it. But yeah, fun batch of episodes. The last episode definitely my favorite one of the bunch. But what about you?
Oh yeah, dude, this episode, the fucking Yopo episode was my favorite one.
Hell yeah.
It's the most fun. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the fucking cult one because just weird story mode thing with Salacia speaking about the prophecy and just another cult going down in the dust. But I mean, this one was fun. This was like we got back to regular old Death Clock being stupid shitheads and making very poor decisions. And yeah, it was a good time.
Fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I'm glad you picked up good batch of episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we're nearing the finish. We're nearing the finish. We have I think like maybe two more. Let me double check. I think we have like two, maybe three more recordings of this. Let's see.
Of the season, we have a lot more show to cover.
No, we have three more. We have three more recording sessions for this one until we get to season 3.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. We got 3 more episodes out of this one, and it'll be good. It'll be great. We'll have a fun time. It'll be great. It'll be fun.
I'm gonna say these short episodes are a nice reprieve from the very lengthy episodes of what's it called we've been doing. So it's understandable.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely.
Young Justice Huge Woods.
Oh my God, were they ever? And we have one more of that, I believe. Right.
Yep. Then we're starting a new series.
Yep.
To be announced then.
In the meantime, Matt. I obviously have no plugs. You, on the other hand...
Oh, yeah. Matthew Lewis Podcast over at Blue Sky. Check it out. Matthew Lewis Podcast YouTube, Matthew Lewis Podcast Patreon, Matthew Lewis Podcast Twitch, Matthew Lewis Podcast everything else. Email the things to give more information about Matthew Lewis Podcast, the Matthew Lewis Podcast Empire, continue it on 100 years, Matthew Lewis Podcasts. Then, of course, check out the old episodes of this show, Movie Garbage. More than worth it. Incredible episodes We've covered so many fun series. Going back and listening to some of the older episodes, like the She-Ra series or the Korra series, are very, very fun. And then, of course, movie garbage. Me and Ed are covering. This is gonna probably air after our huge Monster Hunter saga, which is incredibly long, the longest thing we've ever recorded. But beyond that, the old episodes, we talk about old weird ass movies, bad movies, fun movies. We have very divisive opinions, which is a good thing because discussion is very, very important. Forgotten Minotaur King. Check out that old podcast from a couple years ago. Also, buy the book that's been out for a couple of years. It's more than worth it. It's a huge, good read. Good read. That's all my stuff for now.
Yep, that's great. So yeah, this was a fun batch of episodes, and hopefully next time we record an episode for this, you'll be like, hey. I'm not stopping listening to Rammstein or System of a Down, but I've heard about this new group I've never heard of called fill in the blank, whatever one. Hopefully, but it's not. But hopefully, it's not going to be too much of a push.
Yeah. So all right. So
yep.
We will see you next time.
Yep. We will see you next time, and as always, keep it sleazy.